Let me take you behind the counter. Not your side of the counter, the other side, the dealer's side. Because the reason most people sell their silver for less than it's worth has nothing to do with the silver. It has everything to do with what the dealer sees when you walk through that door. And what the dealer sees determines the number they offer before they pick up the first coin. I know this because I've talked to dealers, I've watched transactions, I've listened to how they describe sellers after they leave the shop, and the language they use splits cleanly into two categories. There are sellers they describe as organized, clear, easy to work with, and there are sellers they describe as a headache. The organized sellers get better offers. Not because the dealer likes them more, because organized lots reduce the dealer's risk, and reduced risk translates directly into a higher bid. Today, I'm going to teach you how to be the first kind of seller. 3 steps, each one told from both sides of the counter simultaneously. What you think is happening and what's actually happening in the dealer's calculation. Because once you see the sale through the dealer's eyes, you'll never present a lot the same way again. Ken AG, let's get behind the counter. Disclaimer. Education. Not investment advice. I'm not a licensed dealer. I'm not affiliated with any buying operation. What I'm sharing is a process built from observation, conversation, and the principle that understanding the other side of any transaction is the fastest path to a better outcome. Before the 3 steps, I need to show you the dealer's formula. Not the mathematical formula, the mental formula. Because every dealer, every buyer, every counter operator runs the same invisible calculation the moment you place silver in front of them. And that calculation has 4 variables. Variable 1, weight. This is the baseline, the non-negotiable floor. Whatever the silver weighs in troy ounces, multiplied by the spot price, gives the melt value. This number is objective. It doesn't change based on presentation. It doesn't change based on your story. It's physics. Variable 2, condition. This is where money starts moving above or below melt. A coin in brilliant uncirculated condition commands a premium because the dealer can resell it at a premium. A coin with hairlines, fingerprints, or cleaning damage resells at melt or below because no collector wants to pay above melt for a damaged piece. The delta between these two conditions on the same coin can be $2, $5, even $10 per ounce. And the dealer assesses condition in under 3 seconds per piece. They've seen 10,000 coins. They don't need a loop for the obvious stuff. They look, they classify, they adjust the number. Variable 3, liquidity. How fast can the dealer resell this specific item? An American Eagle moves in hours. A generic round from a recognizable mint moves in days. A limited edition coin from an obscure mint might sit in the case for months. The longer the expected hold time, the lower the offer. Because hold time is capital tied up, risk of price decline, and display space occupied, the dealer isn't penalizing your coin. The dealer is pricing their own carrying cost. Variable 4, friction. How much work does this lot require? Does the dealer need to sort it, test it, research it, authenticate it, explain it to the next buyer? Every unit of friction is a cost, and costs reduce the bid. A lot that arrives pre-sorted, documented, and easy to evaluate generates less friction, and less friction means a higher offer. Weight is fixed. Condition is mostly fixed by the time you walk in, but liquidity and friction are variables you can influence through how you prepare, where you sell, and how you present. And those 2 variables are where the money lives. Now the 3 steps, both sides of the counter. Step 1, prepare. Your side. You open your safe. You pull out the silver. You put it in a bag or a box. You drive to the dealer. You're thinking about one thing. How much am I going to get? The dealer's side. You walk in. You place the bag on the counter. The dealer looks at it, and in the first 5 seconds, before touching a single piece, the dealer has already made a preliminary assessment based entirely on presentation. A mixed bag with loose coins rattling against bars, no organization, no documentation, no separation by type, generates an immediate mental discount. Not because the dealer is dishonest, because a disorganized lot signals maximum friction. The dealer now knows they're going to have to sort everything themselves, test questionable pieces, assess condition one by one, and figure out what's liquid and what's going to sit. That work is time. Time is money. And the money comes out of your offer. The fix happens before you leave your house. Sort your silver into categories. Bullion coins in one group, bars in another. Premium or collectible pieces separate. Damaged or heavily tarnished pieces separate. Each group in its own container or pouch. labeled if possible. A simple note with each group stating the quantity, the type, and the approximate weight. When the dealer opens a sorted lot, the mental calculation changes instantly. Friction drops. The dealer can assess each category independently. They can see what's liquid and what's not without doing detective work. And the 5 minutes of sorting you did at home just saved the dealer 15 minutes of work. That saved time translates into a higher offer, not always dramatically, but consistently. 2 to 5% higher on average for an organized lot versus a mixed pile as the range dealers have described to me. On a 100-ounce sale, that's the difference between a good sale and a frustrating one. And one critical preparation rule: do not clean your silver before selling. This is the mistake that destroys the most value at step 1 because it feels like the right thing to do. You want the silver to look good, you want to make a good impression. So you grab a cloth or a paste or a cleaning solution and you scrub. What you see afterward, shiny silver, what the dealer sees, cleaning scratches, removed mint luster, destroyed frost on proof surfaces, evidence of amateur intervention that changed the coin from original condition to damaged condition. In the grading world, a cleaned coin is worth less than a tarnished coin in original condition, every time, because tarnish is reversible without damage, cleaning marks are permanent. If your silver has patina, leave it. If it has light toning, leave it. If it has surface dirt, a gentle rinse with distilled water and a soft cotton pad is acceptable for bullion. For anything numismatic, do nothing. The dealer would rather see honest patina than dishonest shine. Step 2. Position. Your side. You've prepared the lot. Now you need to decide where to sell it. And the instinct is to take everything to one place and get one offer. Maximum convenience, minimum effort. Done. The dealer's side. The dealer loves this approach because when you bring a mixed lot of bullion, premium pieces, bars, and scrap to one location and ask for a single offer, the dealer prices the entire lot at the level of the least liquid, least desirable piece. Not because they're cheating, because blending a lot into a single price protects them from the risk embedded in the hardest to sell items, and that protection comes at your expense. Think about it from the dealer's perspective. You hand them 20 Eagles, 3 limited edition coins from a niche mint, and 5 tarnished generics. The Eagles sell in hours. The niche coins might sell in months. The tarnished generics sell at melt. If the dealer offers you one price for the whole lot, that price is going to be pulled down by the niche coins and the generics, because the dealer can't pay premium for items they can't resell at premium. And the Eagles, which deserve the best offer, get averaged down by the items that don't. The fix is positioning each category at the right exit. Your liquid bullion goes to a dealer who moves high-volume standard product. They'll give you the tightest spread because their turnover is fast and their risk is low. Your premium or collectible pieces go to a different channel, a collector marketplace, an online auction platform, a specialized dealer who serves the niche that wants those specific pieces. This takes more time, but the premium you recover on pieces that sell above melt can be significant. Your damaged, tarnished, or scrap silver goes to a refiner or a dealer who buys it melt without condition assessment. There's no point presenting scrap to a premium dealer. The premium dealer is going to offer you melt anyway and be annoyed at the mixed lot. A scrap buyer gives you melt cleanly and quickly. Different exits for different categories. This is the step that takes the most discipline because it's the step that trades convenience for money. Selling everything in one place is fast. Selling by category at the right exit is more work. But the difference across a meaningful lot can be 10 to 20% on the premium pieces and 2 to 5% on the bullion. Added together, that's hundreds of dollars on a larger sale. And those hundreds of dollars were earned not by negotiating harder, but by routing correctly. One more positioning concept: visible liquidity. This is the phrase that governs the dealer's willingness to pay above melt. The dealer pays more when they look at a piece and think, I can turn this around quickly without hassle. Eagles have visible liquidity. Recognized sovereign coins have visible liquidity. Standard bars from major refiners have visible liquidity. A niche coin from a private mint does not have visible liquidity. And the gap between what you paid for that niche coin and what the dealer offers is the cost of invisible liquidity. You can't change the liquidity profile of a coin you already own, but you can route it to the channel where its liquidity is highest. The niche coin that's invisible to a local dealer might be highly visible to an online collector community. That routing decision is where positioning pays for itself. Step 3. Ask right. Your side. You've prepared. You've positioned. You walk into the dealer with a sorted, documented lot of liquid bullion. You place it on the counter, and now you need to get a price. The instinct is to say, how much will you give me for this? and wait. The dealer's side, when you open with "how much will you give me," you've handed the dealer the anchor. In negotiation psychology, the first number on the table sets the reference point for everything that follows. When the dealer sets the anchor, they set it at the number that maximizes their margin. That number will be fair. Most dealers are honest, but fair from the dealer's starting position and optimal from your starting position are not the same number. The fix is not to arrive with an aggressive counteroffer that makes you look like a difficult customer. The fix is to arrive with information. Know the current spot price to the penny. Know the typical dealer buyback spread for your product type. For liquid bullion, dealers typically buy within a known range under spot. For premium pieces, the range is wider. For scrap, it's melt minus a processing fee. When you know the range, you don't need to anchor with a specific number. You anchor with knowledge. You say something like, "I have 12 tubes of Eagles, that's 240 ounces. I know spot is at $89, and I'm looking for something in the range of spot minus the typical buyback spread for Eagles. How close can you get?" That sentence changes the entire dynamic. The dealer now knows you understand the market. You've demonstrated that you're not guessing. You're not emotional. You're not going to waste time with unrealistic expectations. And a dealer facing an informed seller offers a tighter spread than a dealer facing an uninformed one. Not because of negotiation pressure, because the informed seller reduces friction by not requiring education, not requiring debate, and not requiring the dealer to manage unrealistic expectations. That saved friction comes back to you as a better number. And one more rule that protects your sale: never negotiate the entire lot as a single block. Even if you're selling everything to one dealer, ask for pricing by category. What will you give me for the Eagles? What will you give me for the bars separately? What about the generics? When you separate by category, you see where the dealer is competitive and where they're squeezing. The Eagles might be at a tight spread, the bars might be lower, the generics might be at melt. That visibility lets you make informed decisions about which categories to sell here and which to route elsewhere. And the dealer, facing a seller who asks category by category, knows they can't bury a weak offer inside a blended number. Transparency favors the prepared seller. And if the offer comes in below your expectation, the response is not frustration, not argument, not a speech about how beautiful your coins are or how much you paid for them. The dealer doesn't care what you paid. The dealer cares what they can resell for. The response is calm. "Thank you for the offer. I'm going to compare it with one other quote and I'll get back to you today if it makes sense." That sentence does three things. It signals you're shopping, which keeps the dealer honest. It signals you're decisive, which tells the dealer you're a real seller, not a time waster. And it gives you the space to make a rational decision instead of an emotional one. In used silver sales, staying calm is literally worth money, because emotion makes you accept the first offer out of frustration, or reject a fair offer out of pride, or argue a point that costs you the relationship with a dealer you might need again. Calm is the multiplier that makes the other two steps work. Let me close with the 4 mistakes that destroy value before the market has even said yes or no. Because these are the mistakes I see repeatedly, and each one is entirely preventable. Mistake 1. Handing everything over mixed together. Bullion touching scrap, touching premium pieces in a single bag. The dealer sees chaos. Chaos gets the lowest offer, because chaos requires the most work. Mistake 2. Cleaning or polishing before selling. The intention is cosmetic. The result is damage. A cleaning scratch is a permanent downgrade that costs more than the tarnish it replaced. Mistake 3. Selling everything to one buyer. The convenience of a single transaction comes at the cost of accepting the lowest common denominator price across a diverse lot. Different silver deserves different exits. Mistake 4. Walking in without knowing the numbers. When you don't know spot, don't know the typical spread, and don't know what category your silver falls into, you're negotiating blind. And negotiating blind means the other side of the counter controls the outcome. 4 mistakes, all preventable, all free to fix, and together they account for the majority of the money that sellers leave on the table every single day in the physical silver market. The 3 steps one more time. Prepare, sort by category, document, don't sabotage condition, reduce friction before you walk in. Position, route each category to the buyer who values it most, liquid bullion to a volume dealer, premium to a collector channel, scrap to a refiner. Don't blend what shouldn't be blended, ask right, know the numbers, negotiate by category, stay calm, compare quotes, and never let emotion override arithmetic. That's the process. It isn't glamorous. It doesn't have a secret trick. It doesn't promise you'll get rich from selling. It promises you'll get what your silver is actually worth instead of what an unprepared seller settles for. And the gap between those two numbers, across a collecting lifetime of buying and eventually selling, is measured in hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars. The money isn't made at the moment of the sale. It's made in the preparation before the sale. And preparation is free. Comments below. Tell me which piece you find hardest to sell. Bullion, bars, junk, or premium. And tell me what happened the last time you sold. Good experience, bad experience, somewhere in between. I'll reply with the single adjustment that would have the biggest impact on your next sale based on your specific situation. Because every lot is different. Every market is different. And specific advice beats generic advice every time. If this video changes how you approach your next sale, hit the like button. This is the content that saves you money at the moment it matters most, when you're standing at the counter with metal in your hand and a number in front of you. Subscribe and hit the bell. Share this with someone who's thinking about selling and doesn't have a process yet. Give them the 3 steps before they walk into the dealer. Before, not after. Because after is too late. The number was already set. As always, take care of yourself and each other. Your friend Ken A.G. Prepare, position, ask right, and walk out with what your silver is actually worth.